Hi, Collective. Welcome to Step Into Yourself Tarot. My name is Savannah. As I was driving home tonight, I got a download. Spirit has really been talking to me through music, and um, I actually I'm feeling Virgo energy very strongly in this energy. I was also on my drive home. Um, I was picking up a few different signs. So those signs may or may not resonate with you, but I was definitely picking up Virgo. I was picking up Cancer. Um, and so I'm going to play a snippet of the song. I feel like this reading is risque in a way. I had that, it's that kind of energy. So I'm not sure what message needs to come out, but I was feeling prompted. And so I'm going to now play the song and then we will get into the cards and see where Spirit takes us. I hope you are well. If you are new to the channel, and anything resonates with you, please be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Yeah, I am really feeling it's a risque type of energy. Kind of sexy in a way, intimate, but fierce. I'm not sure where we're going, but let me go ahead and play this song. Mama's dancing, baby on her shoulder. The sun is setting like molasses in the sky. Everything, always wanting more. Feeling you're longing for. Black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet with that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring us to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. I am going to play the second verse because this second verse was really hitting me. The music's like a heat wave. White lightning bound to guide you wild. Mama's babies in the heart of every schoolgirl. Love me tender, leaves me crying in the eye. Baby, you're so sweet and true. Always wanting more, eating and longing for. Black velvet and that little boy smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. A new religion that'll bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. Every word, every song that he sings for you. In a flash, he was gone. It happened so soon. What could you do? Okay. So the second verse was really standing out to me earlier on my drive home, and then just now when I was listening, there was some particular lyrics that I was feeling a ringing in my ears. So the second verse says, let's see, white lightning bound to drive you wild, mama's babies in the heart of every schoolgirl. Love me tender leaves him crying in the aisle. The way he moved, it was a sin, so sweet and true. Always wanting more, he'd leave you longing for black velvet and that little boy's smile, black velvet and that slow southern style, a new religion that'll bring you to your knees, black velvet if you please. And then this is where I heard the ringing in my ear. Every word of every song that he sang was for you. In a flash, he was gone. It happened so soon. What could you do? That's hitting. That's hitting hard. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the cards. As we were listening, I was looking over, and my decks are always very nice and neat, but there are a few cards that are sticking up out of the deck, so I'm going to take that as a sign, and I'm going to pull those and see what they are. Okay, so looks like 2 tarot cards and then 1 from an oracle. Let me see. What is here? Samhain and air. Yin and yang, balance. 7 of Swords. And then there's this moon imagery. And it's almost like this individual is kind of resting underneath the moon, but looking to the moon for guidance. And the moon is where it's our secret self. It's the hidden parts of ourself. It's our emotional self. It's the deepest depths, right? It can be illusion. It can be mystical in some way. But then 7 of Swords is typically like a resistant energy. But I feel like here Spirit is saying, don't resist this. Whatever is bringing you to your knees, and I think it even says that in the song, it's bringing you to your knees. Don't resist it. Go to the depths. There's something to be discovered, uncovered. We have the yin and the yang balance. I'm hearing partnership. This is a good reflection of you. This is that missing piece. This is the part that will bring harmony and balance to the self. But I really see, I'm drawn to the image on this of the individual just looking up at the moon, like wanting to go there, literally wanting to go there. But then there's this 7 of Swords energy, which is like resistant. Oh, and then I just realized there's another figure on this image that's kneeling, just like the one on this one. And above it is the moon, again, with the individual propped upon the moon. And so I feel like by going to the depths, by going into the deepest parts of your emotional self, it's going to elevate you. And it's almost like your emotions are holding you up. I'm hearing as the world turns. I'm getting Wheel of Fortune energy. As the world turns, as the journey turns, right? Time has a way, obviously, of moving forward always. And are you going to ride the Wheel of Fortune into the next stage? Oh, I love this energy. It's so powerful. I feel like you're on the precipice, collective. I have air energy here, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I also have Pisces in the moon. Okay, let me see what the oracle is. I said I was getting a risque type of energy and download. And look at this image. Sabotaging relationships. In the tangle of love, my demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ever ask them to dance. That longing from the song, The Black Velvet. So maybe you feel like this is forbidden in some way. My demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ask them to dance. Like, meet me in the moon space. Meet me in my greatest depths, right? We all have shadow. We all have the deepest, darkest parts of ourselves. We all have that devil energy. So now Capricorn energy is coming up. And it's like finding that counterpart, that the yin to your yang, that's going to balance you. And will you meet me in those spaces? But not just to remain there, but to elevate above and beyond. In the tangle of love, my demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ask them to dance. That tangle, that's that Seven of Swords energy. Because Seven of Swords, it can be standing up for and defending, but it can also be resisting and overthinking and boundaries. And I wonder where you are on the spectrum here. Entanglement, intimacy, that risque energy isn't necessarily associated, or doesn't necessarily have to be associated with an unhealthy thing or a risque thing, right? Very interesting. There's something about, it's as the world turns. It's almost like going to those depths, and the desire is here. I see it. Going to those depths is, it's a journey towards maybe greater companionship, maybe more intimate companionship. Maybe you see it as a risk. I'm sensing the Fool energy here. The Fool can be foolish, or the Fool can take calculated risk, because the reward will be worth it, right? The outcome, the desired outcome. Okay, thank you for that, Spirit. Let me go ahead and pull from my oracle. Anything else for collective regarding this black velvet energy? Illusion, there's the moon. Illusion, synchronicity, and lost and found. Illusion, synchronicity, and lost and found. Almost getting an energy of, going into that moon space. We have to face those things that we've lost and those things that we've found, right? Those things that we want to open ourselves to. We have to cut through that illusion. So using that Seven of Swords energy for us rather than against us. So rather than resisting, actually using it to cut through that illusion. See what's real. What moves us into the next stage. Where we were once lost, now being found and elevated And then synchronicities. Synchronicities, you may be experiencing that. Really keep your eyes open, your ears open. Like I mentioned, Spirit has been talking to me a lot through music. That there's reasons behind those synchronicities. You might be seeing angel numbers a lot. I'm getting feathers. I'm getting coins. Perhaps you're seeing coins or finding coins. There's synchronicities in that. Think about when you're finding those and what were you thinking about at that time. I'm getting like connect the dots. Connect the dots. And we have sabotaging relationships. So connecting the dots so that maybe that we don't recreate an old narrative and story. Let's see if there's anything else on this. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else on this? Privacy and excitement. That's that moon energy. In your private time, you're excited about something. You're being drawn to something, but I feel like there's a fear here in some way of going to the depths. Possibly excitement, and that excitement might be that risque energy that is occurring, or risque experiences that's occurring in the privacy, in your privacy, your private moments, when you're your most intimate self. Let me get more on that. Resilience at the bottom of the deck. What's this excitement and privacy? 6 of Cups, a soul bond. Whoa, that's too many, Spirit. Way too many. Queen of Cups, Temperance. Someone that you have a lot of love for. And Temperance is here. Does that processing under the moon. You've healed your heart over a soul bond, or are in the process of doing so. And maybe in your private moments, you actually feel quite soft in your heart. You might feel even excitement. 6 of Cups, Queen of Cups, Temperance. You've healed your heart over memories of the past, over a deep connection, a soul bond connection. Seven of Pentacles, Two of Swords. What can I do? Oh, that was one of the lyrics. What could I do? What can you do? Anything else about this 6 of Cups, Queen of Cups, Temperance that collective should know? The Devil. There's that Capricorn energy again. Page of Pentacles. There's fear of some kind of offering. Ooh, from the King of Cups. Offering to the King of Cups. Because you're showing me the Queen of Cups as you. Once again, water sign. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's like there's this fear. There's the risque energy. It's like fear associated with making an offering. It's a small offering, Page of Pentacles. But they have a matching heart space. Page of Wands. There's hope here. Oh, the Lovers. Hope. It would be a major decision. Perhaps there's a fear of it being unrequited. Right? That longing energy from the song, The Black Velvet. I'm almost getting that off that devil energy. It's like the forbidden. But in your private time, you're seeking. You're seeking for answers. But it requires you to cut through the illusion. And maybe to acknowledge what you've lost in order to find what it is you're looking for. I want to see the sabotaging relationships. Four of Wands. Seven of Wands. Resisting it. So we can resist stability. We can resist relationship energy. We can have our defenses up. We can have our boundaries up. And it can become patternized with that devil energy. We can be our own worst enemy. Yeah, Five of Cups. Because of what we've lost in the past. Because of past memories. And living in the old. Rather than opening up our eyes to see what the new could bring. Anything else about the sabotaging relationship? Queen of Wands. Five of Wands. Oh. A lot of Wands energy. There's that fire energy here. And it's like the Queen of Wands. They're beautiful. They're magnetic. They draw you. But there is so much conflict. Internal conflict. I'm seeing it as internal because of the moon energy. Excuse me, the illusion, the privacy. I'm seeing it as internal. You're so conflicted regarding taking action, regarding having your defenses up. It's like, well, what is it? Why the conflict? Why the conflict? Two of Swords, because of confusion, possibly seeing things in black and white. Confusion about whether to invest, whether you could make it work. Once again, that moon energy and the Two of Swords, and the individual has a blindfold on and they're not willing to look at the moon. So there's something about looking at the moon, your most internal self. That fire energy that you're experiencing and the draw that you're experiencing. The Page of Wands energy, the Page of Pentacles energy, the Lovers, that's all fire. And then there's also love. So it's like maybe you've associated fire and passion and desire as an unhealthy attachment. And I feel like Spirit is trying to say, no, it's not unhealthy. It shouldn't be all fire. And that's why I'm glad I see the heart here. Seven of Swords. It's the lies we tell ourselves. That's that sabotaging energy. Show me the illusion. Show me the illusion. Seven of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Illusion about what being strong and independent looks like. What being a steadfast character looks like even. What being abundant looks like. This is almost an energy of hyper independence, and this has come up in a reading recently. I forget who it was. Maybe Aries. Hyper independence, where it's almost like you're so independent to a fault that you push away the yin and the yang, right? The balance with another. But it's an illusion. Ten of Wands, and it's really hard to carry. It's heavy. It's heavy to carry. Anything else about this? Seven of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Seven of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Strength. Yeah, it's how are you using strength? It's like, no, I need to maintain my composure. I need to maintain and push away things that might involve risk. But you're holding on to the illusion so tightly. But this energy is like, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to cut through it. Page of Cups, so that I can be open from the heart. So that I can, once again, these are all messengers. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Small messages. Small actions. That can lead to big results. The Page of Pentacles is the most solid of the pages. But it requires action. It requires learning. It requires looking forward rather than to what was lost to what you can find. And it requires openness from the heart space. But the anxiety and the stress is so high about doing so, and I'm not sure why. King of Swords, because it requires being decisive. It requires us to get out of this Two of Swords energy of confusion. I'm going to remain in illusion, and I'm going to remain with the blindfold on. And not making a decision requires us to make decisions. The Lover's major decision. Anything else that you want to share with collective spirit? I'm not sure where we're going next. Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit. Literally, I'm not sure where I'm going next. Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit. There's that Virgo energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the Knight of Pentacles. A lot of earth. Spirit saying, there's something you need to see about the path that you've been on. You need to gain wisdom and insight about the path that you've been on. And in this Hermit energy, when we gain that insight, it informs the path that we move forward on. The Hermit holds the lantern, which holds the star, our deepest desire, the path forward, the things that we wish upon, the things that represent longevity, and the things that we continue to reach for over and over again. So I feel like this Hermit energy is working in two different ways. Actually, three. Healing those past losses and grief and experiences, perhaps that have been underneath the moon for a long time. I feel like the Hermit is also wanting you to really take a look at the path that you've been on and possibly the stagnancy of it. The Knight of Pentacles typically has a plan, but they don't move. It's just remaining still for quite a long time. Knight of Pentacles is a lot of time as well. And then I feel like the third way that the Hermit is working is once you gain that insight, how do you move forward? How do you move forward onto your star pathway? How do you literally move? Eight of Cups. Anything else about this Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit? So the Eight of Cups is walking away or an emotional detachment from a particular path. And then here we have the Six of Swords. Moving away. There's something you need to see about your current pathway that you need to move away from in order to reach a new shore. Perhaps moving away from the stagnancy, moving away from remaining in what was lost instead of going towards what can be found. And I don't know why there's this risque energy associated with it. Let me see if I can get more on that aspect. Why is there this risque, or I'm almost wanting to say forbidden, energy associated with this? And the Hermit, on some decks, it's like the Book of Life. So it may be detaching from a mindset or the way that you've done things or the things that you've subscribed to in your life, the things that you value, really our Book of Life, the way that we operate and navigate the world. Why is moving away from this pathway towards what is drawing collective risque? Why is it risque or forbidden? Wisdom. Number 22. There's that synchronicity, 222. might be an important angel number for you. Wisdom. Because it requires an elevation, and once again, she's reaching for the moon. It's like, I don't want to face it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Pleasure. Why is it risque to desire pleasure? What would personally please you? Pleasure. Open up to it. There's that intimacy. Surrender to it. Remember I said, you know, if your mindset is that feeling that kind of draw or attraction is unhealthy, there's some insight that needs to be gained here about pleasure. We should be able to experience pleasure in our life, in our relationships. Change, release, will, and power. There it is. The need to release in order to bring about change. To find what was lost or what needs to be found. What new wants to come in. The release, the change. Number 27, number 35, number 18, and number 22. And then will and power requires you to rise into your power. Number 16 and number 13. And what I find interesting, the will is like you currently, collective, where you have the blindfold on. But rising into your power removes the blindfold. In order to rise into your power and into a state of empowerment, true empowerment. Remember, we had that independent energy, the Nine of Pentacles, but it was surrounded by denial, deceit, and resistance. Here, it's rising into empowerment. When we take a look at these things, when we remove the blindfold, when we see things clearly, when we cut through the illusion, it's rising into empowerment, into your power. There's a surrender energy here and the need to release and to surrender in order to bring about change. Acceptance. Remember how I said the acceptance of another, that yin and yang energy, that balance, accepting. It's almost like what's been offered to you, accepting another, being accepting of another, putting out your hand in those pages energy to make a gesture. Wow. Anything else for collective? It's too many. I'll take a look. The path, resilience, trust, and boundaries. Trust the path forward that's revealed to you. Trust where you're being drawn. Balance, yin and yang. What could I do? You can release and you can surrender to that fire energy. if collective releases, what can they expect? The path. This is the stability. This is the new vision. This is the star pathway. They can expect that the road will be revealed. And the ladder is there to climb into the new reality. It's beautiful energy. Anything else that they can expect? I'm going to pull from this oracle. Anything else that collective can expect if they surrender and release and go with that fire energy? There's that book of life. Number 31. Why? The question, why? Why have I subscribed to this? If you see, the book has wings on it. And it's almost like the person, they're bending down to reach for it, but why? You may encounter questions of why. Why did I wait so long? Why did I remain in that Five of Cups energy? Because there's an unfinished symphony available. What was lost can be found. There's more music to be heard, to be experienced. There's more to come. 10. But it begins in the here and now. Oh, I love this energy. Literally, and the person is sitting between the past and the future. It begins right now. That's why I got that download, and it's like, I have to read. I have to read tonight because it begins now. The building blocks begin now. There's an unfinished symphony that is drawing you. And maybe you see it as a risk. Maybe you're questioning why. Why do I feel this pull? But don't self-sabotage yourself by holding yourself back from what naturally you're feeling. Truth be told, number 14. There's truth that is waiting to be revealed to you. No place like home, number 50. The home is elevated. Maybe what you lost can be found. Maybe you abandoned something and there's an unfinished symphony with it, and it requires your flexibility. Loyalty, loyal heart. Number 35, loyal heart. And then imagine that whatever is beckoning you could represent loyalty. Maybe it's you showing loyalty. Once again, that moon space is elevated here to the sea. Peace and clean it up. That temperance energy. You need to travel. You need to move. You need to move. You need to go to the sea, to the unknown, in order to have peace and to clean it up. Whatever this unfinished symphony is, maybe you don't know the reason, but Spirit is calling you. Make the gesture to the sea. Go into the unknown. Go into the depths. Clean it up so that you can have peace, even if only to move forward. Okay. All right. Is there any other messages that you want me to share with collective? What's the supportive energy? And then I think that's going to be it. Another oracle is wanting to come out. The fox, enigma, adaptability, and shape shifting. Adaptability. Cleverness. Be clever, be creative in how you approach. What's the supportive energy for collective as we wrap up this reading and this, whatever the situation is? The black velvet, supportive energy surrounding collective, and the black velvet, supportive energy surrounding collective, and the black velvet. Whoa, okay. Meditation, that's that moon energy. Love, the sun. Oh, love and happiness, love and warmth. It's available. That's that fire energy. That's that heart space. The water energy, fire and water. They can coexist. A lot came out here. Lust. There's that risque. Each of us is born with a box of matches inside of us, but we can't strike them all by ourselves. Yeah, you need the other. You're fired up about something, someone. You see it as risque, but it's beckoning you. But it's actually love and it's happiness. It's not just lust. That's what I'm getting. It's not lust. It's love, and it represents love, and it represents the sun. And then we have Zen, growth, and kindness. I feel like be kind to yourself. Oh, look, and growth says, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet, and kindness. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. So be grounded and be willing to take the risk, because in that comes growth. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. But whatever you associate with lust, it actually represents love and the sun. Happiness, joy, warmth, radiance, fire. Explore. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines. Sail away from the safe harbor. Go to the sea. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, and discover. I love that for you. Okay, let me end with a final spirit message and or angel number for collective spirit. Thank you for this message. That's a lot. If you pay close attention, you will notice all the doors that once closed are opening up, lost and found, just in different form. Things may not appear exactly as you had envisioned. Let's see what else we have here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, persistence. Keep going. You've completed a task that is in alignment with your soul's journey. The divine is letting you know that it sees you and that all of your persistence will pay off. You're being acknowledged. I take steps to stay in alignment with my soul's journey, and I reap the rewards of my persistence. Remember the desired outcome. Love that. 1818, optimism. So yeah, be optimistic. Everything is in perfect order as I enter into this next chapter of my journey as the world turns and connect to the abundance that is near. 1717, self-reliance. Time has come to rely on your knowledge, your wisdom, and your ambition. You have an important soul mission and purpose. Leaning on your inner strength will allow more of your path to unfold ahead. Yeah, the ladder, right? The new pathway. As I take leadership of my life brings a flow of good fortune and good blessings. These difficult times will pass. Nothing bad lasts forever. The sun will shine again. The birds will sing. The clouds will clear. And you will be glad you kept moving forward. You will soon be rewarded for your patience. Hold on. You are far stronger than what you think. And then find ways to fill your cup, your heart space. Be self-full. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within that moon space. Find your triggers and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer to another the best version of yourself. And then count all of your blessings, even the small ones. Show gratitude and appreciation for all that you have in your life and all that has yet to come into it. What you're seeking, finding what you're seeking. Your best days are still ahead of you. Isn't that a wonderful thought? I love this for you, collective. I hope that it resonated or helped in some way. And I will be doing Virgo in depth for 2026 next. So be sure that you are subscribed so that you can be notified of those in-depth readings that are coming out this month. All right, take care.